mind telling me who the masked man is?
A big ugly man doll.
It's your boy, the Big Ugly Man Doll, and this is my show, Big Ugly Opinion, and it's so great to be back. So, obviously, if you read the title and you saw the thumbnail, this video is going to be about Nikki Haley and the rampage of ridiculous things she's been saying lately. She's going absolutely nuts, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. I just want to say, she will not make a good president. Make sure we do not vote for this woman. But real quick, give me a like, a comment, a share, and subscribe real quick. And we'll get right into the thing she's been saying. All right, Nikki, let's press the button.
This week.
Let me turn her up a little bit.
Never been a racist.
Rewind.
Earlier this week, you said that America has, quote, never been a racist country.
America's never been a racist country. That's what she just said. She said that. Let her elaborate.
Quote, protections for the institution of slavery were written into the U.S. Constitution. The White House was built with slave labor. Your home state of South Carolina seceded from the Union, fought a war to defend the enslavement of black people. I understand you don't think America's a racist country now, but we're here at a college. Do you really think as a historical matter, America has never been a racist country?
What y'all think she's about to say?
I mean, think about what you're... First of all, I will tell you, when you look at, the Declaration of Independence, it was that, men are created equal with unalienable rights, right?
That word was whooping you.
Was what we all knew. But what
unalienable?
I look at it as is I was a brown girl.
What the fuck? What? You was a what? She didn't just say that. Hold up.
Look at it as is I was a brown
girl. No, you did not.
That grew up in a small rural town. We had plenty.
She was a brown girl? When? When did you become brown?
Of racism that we had to deal with. But my parents never said we lived in a racist country.
So that would clearly mean you never did because they never said it. That is a logic fail. Now, of course, I had to look up what she is because she said she was a brown girl. And I was like, okay, let's see if we can find what she's talking about here. I typed in, is Nikki Haley black? Obviously, she's not black because she would have said black, but I typed that in because I thought that was hilarious. A member of the Republican Party, Haley is the first Indian American to serve in a presidential cabinet. So she's Indian.
And I'm so thankful they didn't. Because for every brown and black...
to be honest with you, when I look at her now, that I know she's Indian, I kind of can see it. So that's fine. You grew up brown. Let's go.
Child out there. If you tell them they live or were born in a racist country, you're immediately telling them they don't have a chance.
Now,
and my parents would always say, you may have talent.
Nikki.
Yes,
she is actually making a little bit of sense right here. I'm not too mad at that. I do believe that when you tell someone that the odds are against them, there's a high possibility that they won't even make an attempt because they'll believe that, and it goes into their psyche, and now they really do believe that there is nothing they can do to climb out of the difficulties that they have been placed in. I agree with that. But you brown? I guess so.
There will be people who are racist, but that doesn't define what you can do in this country. And so I think it's important that we tell all kids that, look, America is not perfect.
Right.
We have our stains. We know that. But our goal should always be to make today better than yesterday. It's hugely important. And that's the problem I have is we have too many people with this national self-loathing. It is killing our country. We have got to go back to loving America. We are blessed because that little brown girl in that small rural town in South Carolina, she grew up to become the first...
No, has anybody ever heard her refer to herself as brown before right now?
...female minority governor in history. She then went on to be UN ambassador, and now she's running for president of the United States.
You know, her brownness is very convenient, something like Kamala Harris. She was Indian, whatever she was, all of that time up until it was time for her to try and get a presidential seat as VP. And then all of a sudden, she black, and she running around with a pair of Timberlands on. I was not impressed. I knew that was a pander move.
States. I want every brown and black child to see that and say, no, I don't live in a country that was formed on racism.
Wrong. Unfortunately, yes, it was.
I live in a country where they wanted all people to be equal.
Well, see, this country was formed through a lot of hardships for a lot of brown people. You know, it's more outside of that as well, of course. You know, white people, they did some building and things like that, but there was a lot of slavery, a lot of genocide action, a lot of natives were slain. You know, there's a lot of racism in the formation of America. So I really don't have a clue how she seems to be so blind to it. But you want to be president of this country and you don't even seem to know the history. That's interesting.
And to make sure that they had life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Okay, but just to push back a bit, because I was a history major in New Hampshire.
You about to school her? Let's go.
You're talking about the ideals of America.
Right.
But America was founded institutionally on many racist precepts, including slavery.
Yeah.
But when you look, it said all men are created equal. I think the intent was to do the right thing. Now, did they have to go fix it along the way? Yes, but I don't think the intent was ever that we were going to be a racist country.
It said all men were created equal, and if what I've been taught was true, that black people weren't exactly considered people at the time. We were looked at as cattle. So yes, all men. They meant everybody that they viewed as a man at the time.
The intent was everybody was going to be created equally. And as we went through time, they fixed the things that were not all men are created equal. They made sure women became equal too. All of these things happen over time. But I refuse.
Another fallacy. Women did not become equal. That's propaganda. There is no equal to make. And because of the deficit that black people were placed in, we have not worked our way to equal yet. We may be more equal under the law, I believe, most certainly. But, you know, we fought from a deficit just to get to the law point. Now we need to get to the financial and educational equivalent, which may not ever happen. But, you know, what she's talking about is a real idealistic view of it. There is no equal. You know, there's only equal there is probably equal opportunity. But equal outcome, no.
I refuse to believe that the premise of when they formed our country was based on the fact that it was a racist country to start with. I refuse to believe that. I have to know in my heart and in everybody's heart that we live in the best country in the world, and we are a work in progress, and we've got a long way to go to fix all of our little kinks. But
all right, yeah. I get where you're coming from there, Nikki. No, there was another video I found that kind of contradicts what she said in that video right there. Check this out, y'all.
about your comments on slavery, we don't need to rehash that. But there were some critics that criticized your comments last night about having black friends as sort of using a trope.
Oh, you said that, Nikki?
People who say that you've really had challenges when it comes to talking about race and are worried about what that would mean for the general election. We were the only Indian family.
Let's get it, brown girl.
In our small southern town.
Uh-huh.
I was teased every day.
Well, wait a minute. But I thought you said this was not a racist country. What were they teasing you for?
For being brown. So anyone that wants to question it.
Is she mixed? Because, like, I've not seen too many Indian people that look almost completely white at the same time.
Can go back and look at what I've said on how hard it was to grow up in the deep South as a brown girl. Anybody can look at my record and see when Walter Scott was shot down by a dirty cop, how I made sure that the Walter Scott family didn't suffer because we put the first body camera bill in the country in place. Anybody can look at the
Good
fact
job.
that when we had 9 amazing souls die in Mother Emanuel Church, I did something that no Republican or Democrat ever wanted to touch,
What's that?
which was call for the Confederate flag to come down because it would take 2/3 of the House and Senate and was an impossible feat. I don't know what you're implying.
You know, that whole Confederate flag thing, I don't know, man. I don't know if we should put too much energy into caring about that flag anymore, to be honest with you. Like, people want to fly that thing, whatever. As long as you don't disrespect or try to harm anyone. You know, if you're walking around feeling like you're the biggest Klansman or whatever the case, you know, the South shall rise again, whatever the case, I don't really care anything about that. I used to care, but now I don't. I really don't think that flag is a huge deal anymore, to be honest with you. Scathing hot take, if you will. I don't care nothing about that. That symbolism doesn't harm me whatsoever. You got to get out of your emotions eventually and see that some of these things are just ineffective distractions that you don't have to be fazed by.
Fine with that, but what I will tell you is saying that I had black friends is a source of pride. Saying that I had white friends is a source of pride.
What?
If you want to know what it was like growing up, I was
You gather pride from hanging out with people because of their color. I got black friends. That's pride. How? White friends? That makes you feel proud? I don't understand that at all. What are you talking about?
disqualified from a beauty pageant because I wasn't white or black, because they didn't know where to put me. So look, I know the hardships, the pain that come with racism. It's the reason that I fight both.
You telling me you got disqualified from a beauty pageant for being Indian? I don't know. I'm gonna need to find out if that's true.
Every day when it comes to racism, anti-Semitism, or hate, and I always will. If I didn't mention slavery on that day, it's because that's an automatic. There's always been, the Civil War's always been known about slavery. I misread it and thought he was looking for a bigger answer going forward. So critics can say whatever they want. I'm very comfortable in my skin. I'm very comfortable with what I believe in. And my job is not to convince
That's right, Nikki. Stand on it.
them.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated.
Yeah, whatever, my God. We out of there. Well, there you have it. In conclusion, Nikki Haley is brown. Put some respect on the brown sister. Brown power. Power to the brown people. Brown is brown, brown, brown. She's stressing that right now. I was a brown girl. Yeah, I get it. You know what? I'm not tired of hearing about your race. Go back to your country. I always want to tell somebody that. Go back to your country. Yeah, I'm ignorant, man. I'm just playing, yo. But that's just my opinion on the big ugly man, dog. And I gotta go. Get up out of here. Peace.